Hey YouTube, Nick26 here, back with another video for you today. I got a product review. I'm going to be talking about Lu's new product. They just put out a brand new setup. If you haven't seen it already, it is the Lu's Mach Crush. Here's a look at it. It's a gorgeous setup, black and orange. Been drooling over it all over social media since it was revealed at ICAST this year. It just finally hit the market a couple weeks ago. I grabbed it up as soon as it was available. I wanted to make sure I fished it for a couple weeks. This is the only setup I've been throwing for a couple weeks now, simply because I wanted to put out the most detailed and best review. I wanted to make sure that I did this. I wanted to do this justice before, going after the reel, because that's what I was really after. Anyway, getting straight into the review, I'm going to start with the reel. The reel, I would give a 9 out of a 10. It's amazing. Extremely top notch. It retails for $179.99, I believe. And it's worth every penny of that. It's absolutely gorgeous if you look at it up close. And it's got the all the standard stuff with the aluminum spool, which is very important to me because you need to tie down your braided line when you fasten it onto the reel, otherwise you'll have drag issues. So that gives it extra power on the spool, which I really like. And it's got 14 to 20 pounds of max drag, which is also really, really high end. It's got the magnetic casting system, which works amazing. I'm throwing half-ounce baits on 15-pound fluorocarbon 40 yards with this thing. It casts like a dream. Amazing. So, it's extremely high end. The only reason I don't give it a 10 is because of the spool size. For a 14 to 20 pound drag system, this is capable of catching really big fish. So the smaller spool is the only drawback that this spool has. No, this reel, excuse me. Anyway, so as you can see, it's got the nice paddles, 7:5:1 ratio, 10 ball bearings, top of the line. Highly recommended. Getting into the rod is a 7-foot medium heavy rod. Its line capacity is 10 to 20 pound. It's got a fast action taper. At least it says it has a fast action taper. I personally disagree with that. I find this taper to be pretty moderate, to be honest. I've tried every bait in my tackle box that I could even throw on this rod, just because I really just wanted to test it out, see what it can do. And what I found out is that this rod lacks power, I would say, for sure. It's very difficult to set single hooks, like a Texas rig, or a belly swim bait, or anything with a big stout hook in it, even like a spinner bait or a chatter bait. It's pretty difficult to set the hook on this thing. I missed a lot of bites, which I got frustrated. You need to go, if you're gonna go with like a single hook, you need like a light wire hook. You don't want to use like a heavy superline hook or anything like that. This is clearly designed for throwing crankbaits, so that's really what I found the most usage out of it. You can throw a half-ounce rattle trap on this pretty nice. You can throw a 1/2 ounce square bill on this very well. What I found that I really liked with this setup, I put on a hard jerk bait. I threw on a Husky jerk, an HJ10 by Rapala, and it really worked really well. I could cast it a mile, and I could, jerk the hard bait a couple of times, let it pause, and that 7:5:1 ratio really picked up that extra line really quick. So I was catching a lot of fish and having a lot of success and really enjoying throwing a jerk bait on this setup. The 7:5:1 gear ratio is pretty fast for me for throwing like a square bill or even a rattle trap. I like to burn that reel, so on those lipless and square bill type of crankbaits, I like to lower down to more of like a 6:5:1 gear ratio. So that's why I really locked in a jerk bait on this setup, is because I could cast it out there, like I said, jerk it a couple times, let it suspend, and that 7:5:1 would really pick up that line really quick. So it actually worked really perfect. Caught tons of fish on it, and I caught Texas rigged fish. I'm not saying you can't use it for that, but I was missing a lot of hook sets. So that's going to be it for this review. It's worth the $200 in my opinion, especially if you plan on, throwing something with treble hooks on it. If you make sure whatever you throw, is 6 inches and under, 1/2 ounce and under, and has treble hooks, this will work just fine. If you can force yourself to slow down, the reel isn't an issue. So I hope you like the review, and feel free to leave any comments. I answer them as best as I can. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. For the future of this, I'm probably going to end up throwing this reel on my jig rod. I really like the 14 to 20 pounds of heavy drag, and it matches the color of that rod. So I'm probably going to do that, and this rod will probably get given away at some point. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. If you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe. I'm going to be doing a giveaway at 250 subscribers. I haven't decided what it is yet though, but I'll let you guys know soon. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.